Holito chimachukma yakoki, shata ohoyo tinkpa. Greetings to you. I am Nura Sunlight, Aboriginal Indigenous Shata woman. As usual, we will be using the animated voice for clarity and better comprehension.
First, before the European invaded and slaughtered to colonize our land that Europeans now call North America, and before the Europeans started calling themselves American. A slick and deceptive way of identity theft, by inclusion. The Aboriginal Indigenous people did not have, or need their police. If you watch the first Abolish Police video, you will realize why they originated policing in their own land. In 1776, year of their Lord, after the Europeans' so-called Declaration of Independence separating from their own masters and land of Britain, alongside other parts of Europe, Spain, France, and Portugal, to trespass on our land, in the name of their so-called divine Roman Christian God, and papal/Pope's manifest destiny. 68 years later, is when the Europeans transplanted their predator police in 1844, only 179 years ago from the year 2023. What this means to Indigenous people, is that all European institutions and systemic practices on this land was never, I repeat, never, for a lack of a better term, legitimate. Colonization was never established in legitimacy. Therefore, the Europeans' very presence, continued occupation, and how they militarily bombarded with heavy guns, biological warfare of smallpox, and foreign papal/Pope's decrees, and then set up their institutions, was never right, or had any authority, whatsoever. Example. A thief does not have a right to steal the property of someone else, by man-made law, or not. Conquering colonizers were never morally good, fair, or correct in accordance with truth, or in line with respect to natural law of commonly, and the overwhelmingly majority of unmolested natural peaceful Aboriginal Indigenous peoples of Earth Mother, before they came. Colonizers are so morally unconscious that they fought against each other like vultures. See what Thomas Jefferson said about his own banker people, to his own common people.
Will deprive the people of all property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered.
Some Aboriginal Indigenous people think that this conqueror was their so-called founding father. Decolonization will end all European established institutions and systemic racism, brutality, and murder in accordance to their foreign so-called laws that protect their ill-gotten gains. No more, no knock warrants where they violently raid and invade our homes, and kill, to kill our children, at will. Look. The European word, warrant. Break it down in the two syllables. You get the words, war, and rant. Exactly what the colonizers always do. Make war against the natural people, and rant loudly and threateningly. Abolishing police will take them away from our children where our children are shot dead, in their backs, in cold blood, in the streets, while they cry, beg, and run in fear for their lives, from the police. Decolonization means abolishing the police. There is no reform or defunding. It means, it will be no more, ever again, because in its conception, that institution with all other aspects of conquering and colonization, was maliciously designed, planned, and carried out to be draconian. Draconian is, pertaining to Draco, the colonizers' so-called ancient Greek nation-statesman. 1777, in reference to foreign European man-made laws that apply against the Aboriginal Indigenous people. Their draconian law mandated death as punishment for minor crimes, so the conquering colonizers could fulfill the goal of control and then, Aboriginal Indigenous peoples' extermination. The foreign terms of crime, law, and punishment means their foreign crime is any action taken or spoken by the Aboriginal Indigenous for moving to get our land back, or getting the European invaders off our land, also, having self-defense weapons, or exposing the foreign European monsters that call themselves American, for who they really are, and for who they really are not. The foreign law is to hide and keep protected the foreign European colonizers' abuses, murder, theft, lies, deception, foreign occupation, and defilement against the natural people and Earth Mother on land that they stole and occupy, so they can keep it through their corrupt cutthroat court system. Their foreign punishment is beatings, jail, imprisonment, torture, terror, death of the Aboriginal Indigenous peoples. All punishment, obviously, even to death, serves as an example to the rest of the natural Aboriginal Indigenous people of Earth Mother. Look. Before the time of these foreign invaders, there was no such a thing as police. Life was simple. Aboriginal Indigenous tribes took care of our own issues within our own communities and unions with other tribes, through Minko Hatak Council and Minko Ohoyo Council, where we lived. Meaning simply, the meeting of head male and female members of our clans and tribes for careful weighing, examining, and consulting before decision-making on cultural/social issues among our own people. Not some foreign colonizing outsider. I repeat. Before the time of these foreign invaders, there was no such a thing as police. Aboriginal Indigenous tribes took care of our own issues, keeping our people safe within our own communities, and unions with other tribes, through Minko Hatak Council and Minko Ohoyo Council, where we lived. We must resurrect our cultural ways of living through decolonization which, along with the other colonial institutions, abolishes the institution of police.
I love you, Mother Earth.